Hi, everybody. This is Greg 29407 back with another episode of No Man's Sky. Today, I'm going to take you through a money-making opportunity for intermediate level players. You've been in the game for a while now. You've been playing the game. You've got your overseer. He's introduced you to some of the other members of the team. For instance, the scientist. You've done his missions. I think they bring in. Next one is probably the farmer. And the farmer is the key because the farmer is going to give you a lot of missions to build a hydroponic bay and then plant this crop and then plant this and then plant this and turn them in. And there are 11 different recipes it's going to give you for different types of crops. And you have stuff like fungal clusters and frost warts and gamma weed, all these different things. And I planted all of them because I just wanted to, see what this was all about and stuff. And some of these are, well, they're all useful in some way. There are, of the 11 crops, there are 3 crops here that make you a lot of money right up front. In terms of just you farm it, you harvest it, and then you sell it right away. And those 3 are going to be the albumin pearl orb, the venom orchid, and then the graviton host. Those are the 3 big money ones. Another one you always want to note is the frost crystals. Frost crystals are used to make glass. So you always, and the frost crystals are finished in just 1 hour. It takes 1 hour from planting to harvesting. This is the fastest one in the game. So you can make a lot of frost crystals really quickly on this. So what I'm going to do, again, this is the fastest 1 hour. The longest ones are 16 hours. This could be the solar vines, and the other one that's, let me see, I had to write all this stuff down. The solar vines and the Kano cactus up on the top floor. So those are 16 hours. Most of them are like 4 hours, and 2 hours, that kind of thing. But so that's the wide range. So basically every day I can come in here and I can kind of harvest all my crops. It's pretty simple. So what you just hit the E button. And it goes that fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and harvest all my crops in the entire building, and I will be right back. Okay, we are back. I spent a couple of minutes harvesting everything. So we have 810 fungal molds and 972 frost crystals and all these different numbers. Because each one of these things produces a different amount. So for instance, Gravitino balls are very pricey. We can make a lot of money on those. Unfortunately, we only get harvest 1 off of every plant. So that's not good. With the sac venom, which is also another big money one, that's another problem where we only get 1 item off of there. And then the albumin pearl, same thing. At the other end of the scale, again, we get something like we get 100 frost crystals for every plant. We get 100 cactus flesh off of every plant. We get 81 solaniums off of every plant, that kind of thing. So different numbers and different times. So what we want to do, first of all, is in order to make some money, again, this intermediate stuff, so we can make some money off of these. If we want to just harvest and sell, well, first of all, that's kind of boring. I mean, this isn't Little House on the Prairie. This is No Man's Sky. We want to make some real money. We want to just kind of go through here and say, oh, we're going to sell our, let's see. Let's see, where's a good one? Let's sell some fungal mold. We'll sell 810 for $12,000. $12,000. Well, that's not very useful. Sac venom, though, we're going to sell 12 for 171,000 units. Yeah, we can make that's some decent money. Albumin pearl, we're going to sell 12 for 132,000 units. Now it looks like the demand's a little higher than normal for that, but that's the basic money we're going to be getting. And then our last big one, the Gravitino balls, we're going to sell 14 of those for 216,000. That's some decent money. That's not chlorine style money, but that's some decent money. Now, the other crops we have, though, are also worth some decent money, too, if you use them in the right way. Because all 11 of those crops that we have, all 11 things that we did, they're like children. They're all beautiful and special in their own way. As parents, we just need to bring out the best in each one of these. So we've got a bunch of cactus flesh here, more than we're ever going to need. We got 810 gamma roots and 810 seleniums. What good is that stuff? Well, we can use these crops to create some really, really useful items. Let me show you. So again, this is intermediate level because you're going to have to get some more of our blueprints and things like that. So let's take a look at heat capacitors. Heat capacitors require 100 frost crystals and 200 seleniums. All right, well, let's create one of those. Let's also take a look at polyfibers. Polyfibers take 100 cactus flesh and 200 star bulbs. Let's create one of those. Now, heat capacitors and polyfibers, if we combine those into one thing, are going to create something called circuit board. One heat capacitor, one polyfiber. And the circuit board is worth roughly 1,000,000 units. So this says total of 916,000, depending on demand. So roughly about 1,000,000 units. That's pretty decent money. Let's do another one. Let's take a look at lubricants, which require 50 faciums. And faciums are usually kind of junk, but 50 faciums and 400 gamma roots. Let's create one of those. And then let's also create 5 glasses. Glass takes 40 frost crystals, so we need 5 of these. So it's going to be a total of 200 frost crystals to make this. When we have those two things, that's going to give us the ability to create something called living glass. Living glass, total value 566. Let's see what those two things actually sell for. That's the mark price. Let's see what the sales price are on those two items. Oh, sell, not buy. If I can find them on here. Circuit board, 1.09 million. Take that. Living glass, 710,000. See how those cheapo products, Facium sells 73 for $2,000, 2,000 units. Suddenly we just made all that money off of them. Now, if you look at those numbers, suddenly we can do that a lot. So for instance, circuit board, we made $1 million off of that, just over $1 million off of that. But that took selenium and selenium and cactus flesh. Those take 16 hours to harvest from the time you plant them to the time you grow them. So you can do that once a day. The living glass, we made 710,000 on that. That took gamma roots, 400 gamma roots, which take 4 hours to harvest. Facium, which takes 4 hours to harvest, and frost crystals that take 1 hour to harvest. So every 4 hours, you can make one of these living glasses and sell it for 710,000. Now, what if we boost that up? So for instance, in order to create one of these living glasses, we need 2 facium plants, we need 5 gamma root plants, and we need 2 frost crystal plants. So that's 9 plants. And we could create 710,000 units of income for us every 4 hours. That's only 9 plants. So if we multiply that by 10, if we created 90 hydroponic units in my little greenhouse and had 20 facium plants, 50 gamma root plants, and 20 frost crystal plants, we'd have 7.1 million every 4 hours. Every 4 hours. So if you come in and do it 4 times a day, that seems like a lot. During vacation, you can do it 4 times a day, maybe 2 times or 3 times a day. You're talking 14 to 28 million units a day just from keeping those 3 types of plants and focusing on living crystals. And again, if you could build 1,000 of these things if you wanted to and just make massive amounts of money. Depends on what you want to do in the game. So what I'm saying is it's not as easy as the chlorine method, because chlorine, you just need a couple of salt and some oxygen just to turn them out. This does take some time, and it takes you have to have the right recipes and the hydroponic lab and the greenhouse and blah 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 blah. But as you can see, you can suddenly make an awful lot of money free, because once you build all that stuff, the plants just keep coming back all by themselves. It's free money after that. So you're not. It's not like you're buying oxygen every day to add on some more chlorine. So this is a really fantastic way of making some good money. You have to wait a little bit longer in the game to get to this point, but it's really fast, really easy. So until next time, this is Greg 29407 saying sayonara, and we will see you next time.